Okay. Are you thinking about starting a business? Are you thinking about going into a business with a partner? Business partnerships and collaborations are great opportunities for doubling the reach or more, depending on how many partners you have. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I'm Deborah Atkinson. You're listening to She Means Fitness Business. It's a division of my company, Voice for Fitness. And at Voice for Fitness, we know you, probably listening, want to be an inspirational example to other midlife women. And in order to do that, you need a profitable health and fitness coaching business. The problem generally is lack of clients or a lack of revenue, because we need to talk about your prices, which can make you feel really uncertain about whether you can succeed. And I believe you deserve consistent, dependable revenue from clients you love. I understand exactly how it feels to be where you are because I've been there too. And that's why I train fitness pros internationally, privately in groups in a mastermind. Here's how I do it. First of all, meet with you on a call and we get you more clients. That's our first strategy. Number two, we make sure that you're getting profit from those clients, not just getting by. And number three, make sure that we create freedom so you love the life that you're creating and you can enjoy the fruits of your work. So you can book a call. Meanwhile, get the Health Fitness Professionals Business Scorecard. I designed it so you can do a self-assessment and figure out where are the gaps and the holes in what you're doing now. It's 2023. What you were doing in 2020 is not working. Here's what it does. You can stop feeling like your dreams slipping away while other, you see them, influencers get more clients and earn more money. And instead, you can start earning at least $5,000 more a month in your first 90 days. And if not, I promise you, it's possible to double your revenue. It's probably easier than you think. Let's dive into this episode because this is really exciting. And there's probably multiple reasons why I ever do some kind of a topic. And there's definitely a personal one behind this one. Somebody I know and love may be starting a business. And lo and behold, I'm thinking, gosh, I need to ask about this and that and the other thing. Wonder if they've thought of this. And I'm thinking, forehead slap. You are a business coach and you have been for 25 years. Who better? But then again, when you're the coach and the mom, it doesn't always work well that way. So here's what we're doing. I want you to think about this. If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. The African proverb. I love that one. And here's me. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to just do it. I'm going to put my head down. I'll do it myself. It'll go faster that way. And I know it doesn't work and it's a limiting factor for me. And it has been. I've had to learn that over and over and over again and learn how to hire people and learn how to manage people really well so that they do their job and I let them go to do it. But this is a whole different animal. If you have a business partner or you're thinking about it, there's less risk, there's more minds, there's more eyes on the business, and there's more opinions about everything. So getting an agreement in place with your partner regarding the business venture that you're starting before you do it, or now, if you've not done it, is a really good idea. Invest a little time and money into making it legal, making sure everyone signs, everyone understands. Whether you partner to host a podcast or you partner in a full-fledged business with your sister, your spouse, your friend, or somebody you don't know yet, you want it in writing. Whether there's 2 of you or 10 of you, how will you determine the role of the individuals involved? These are things that you don't want to leave to chance. So in this episode, I'm going to open with ideas of how you may already be partnering and not even realize it, options you may consider having a business partner for first in your business, and give you a few things to consider before you get legal advice and it starts costing you by the minute, and invest in making it official. You will, by the way, want to do that. So expect you're going to have that expense. Think of this as your introduction into partnerships if you're not doing them. But like I said, you may be and actually not realize it. Or it's a great reminder to review what you have in place to keep partnerships running smoothly. And listen, trust me, it's always better to go over these things and these details while things are running smoothly before they're not. So you've handled them, you've taken care of them, and everybody has kind of the law of the land right there in front of them. One thing I would suggest is clear. It rang true for all the people I talked to about partnerships, whether they were in a business that was currently making money or that on the flip side, it was hurting, not making any money. Whenever there is money involved, there is emotion. Someone can too easily feel taken advantage of. So while you're thinking about it or in the early stages and just beginning to look at how you monetize your podcast business partnership, for example, it's a very good time for all parties to consider what if. Honestly, that could have been the name of this podcast episode. What if is a very good place to start. Business partnerships and collaboration. I mean, it's a place for amazing health growth because when you think about it, you and your partner both have, say, Facebook timelines, Instagram timelines. Maybe you have accounts everywhere, social media. And then maybe you also have a business timeline. So it's more than 2 times 1, but never forget. That's also more than 2 times the work. All right, let's just keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do here is throw out a couple scenarios for you to consider here. So if you have investors, somebody who helped you with a startup, do they have any decision-making power? Now, most likely, if you have investors, they demanded that there was something in place. And if your investors are quote unquote bank of mom and dad, for your personal integrity, I would make sure there's an agreement in place. So if so, what's the agreement in terms of decision-making power? How much decision-making power do you have? Do they have? Who has the bottom line veto power? Look, if you are at a standoff and you have a partner and you're 50-50, how do you decide? You really need to decide who decides in advance before a heated topic comes up. Say somebody approaches one of you and wants to do business with you, but not your partner, simply because nothing wrong with your partner. They just don't know your partner. They have the relationship and history with you. They want you to do something on the side. Is there an agreement or anything in your agreement about partners' ability to have a side hustle that is related to the same business? I mean, I would say that would be a place where somebody could be offended very quickly. What if one of you feels strongly about hiring or firing someone and the other one feels the opposite way? What about the training methods and who's responsible for the training actually and the accountability or checking up, evaluating your employees or contractors? How do you split revenue? Is it down the middle after expenses, or is it split differently based on tasks and responsibilities? Are you going to take commission and pay yourselves a base salary commensurate with what you'd pay somebody else doing the same tasks if you were to hire them? Or are you taking distributions after expenses? I mean, all of these things, if it's just you, you could change your mind in the morning and have that implemented by afternoon. If you have a partner, chances are they're going to want to think about it. You're going to have meetings and discuss it. And this is something you want to talk about in advance. So it's already a lot, right? But let's look at a situation where you and a partner might start a business that includes fitness programs, nutrition programs, and the social media and the podcasting. The day-to-day decisions alone are numerous, aren't they? Who posts? How often and when? How do you determine the posts? The content that goes into them, the language and the voice that you have in the posts. That's a time-consuming task right there. But if you not only not doing it, you're not doing it, but if you have to run it by a second party, right? There's a lot of time involved, times two. I mean, or is one of you in charge? One of you in charge of overseeing your VA you're hiring to do it for you, and you're tracking and getting the reporting and the stats for your partner on a regular basis so you can both see what's true, make decisions about how you're spending your money, your time, all of that. Listen, all of this so very important. Then there are pricing decisions, branding decisions, cost of goods sold, services that you hire for branding, photos, videography, or editing. Or let's say one of you has this skill set, and that's kind of why you teamed up. You have this skill set, they have this skill set. What if one of you starts to feel like the skills that they're doing are being called on more and more, and there's more and more hours? How will you handle that? Right? So if one of you does it, is that something you're going to pay hourly, or you're going to decide here's the salary that you would do it? And you're going to do research on what you would have to pay somebody else if you hired them. Generally, that's how you decide what you can pay yourself. Then again, business profits are handled maybe through distributions quarterly and paid out to each of you in an even split. Is that what you're doing? The platforms that you use also have a certain cost that comes with them. As you grow, there's going to be more and more platforms, more and more cost. Who decides or does the research on what's the most economical and what's the best fit for servicing your business? Who monitors expenses like this to decide, are we still using that? We bought it years ago, but maybe we're not even using it. Whose job is it to look at all that? Someone has to be responsible for accounting, bookkeeping, monitoring your P&L statements. If you don't know what that is, you need to know. It's called the profit and loss statement. Ideally, every single month. For us, it's usually by the second or the third week of the month, we're looking at the profit and loss statement from the last week. I wish it was faster. My bookkeeper's not so fast. In fact, my bookkeeper's way behind. I'm looking for a new bookkeeper. But it is important that you look at that. That's your business decisions, right? So you don't want to keep spending money in the way you've spent money if you just are kind of somebody who doesn't like finance anyway. You don't love the numbers part of it. You love servicing clients and fitness. There's a chance that you may be putting your head in the sand, but you need somebody to tell you, like a good accountant, to say, look, whatever you're doing with marketing doesn't seem to be working for you right now because you're spending way more but not making way more. This would be somebody you want to hire, right? If that's not a skill set that you or your partner has. Let's look at one of the early business collaborations that you might do, which is co-hosting a podcast. How fun, right? To co-host with a friend, what could be better? You get to have chats regularly, have twice the reach with your personal accounts, plus your business account, twice the people you meet and want to engage with. And then say, you start having people want to sponsor your show because you do so fabulously, or you promote them and all of a sudden you're monetizing that podcast. You promote a product or a service they have. Or you might start promoting affiliate products or services that you love to your audience, and that starts generating revenue. Is there a business account where that money is going? Is that revenue equally split? Or did one of you maybe have more to do with the affiliate engagement and tracking? And is that something that you want more of, right? All these things are great things to consider. Is there any reason one of you will feel like you deserve more because you enlisted them, you signed them up, or you suggested it, created more of the promotions, and spent more time and energy doing it? What if one of you has a business that she monetizes, like a weight loss coaching business, just for instance? The other one doesn't really have a coaching or fitness business, but is more maybe journalistic and the media personality that knew the tech, knew how to set up the podcast and did all of that. And it helps you kind of put on the face of it, getting you started and getting you out in front of people. What if one of you is a doctor and the other a fitness professional and you partner? One of you would see patients and build a business based on medical services, charging a whole lot more. The other, a fitness professional, may refer to the doc, and the doc may refer to the fitness programs, but it isn't clear exactly the benefit to each of you from the actual podcast. What if the relationship dissolves? Who owns the podcast or the email list of subscribers from the podcast? And the listenership, right? And the ability to market via social media to the entire list. Who owns that? Who gets that? Okay, there's a lot to think about. And what I've given you more than anything is questions, more than answers. I get it. But there are so many variables here that this, I'm hoping, really gets you thinking. And there are places where you're probably already partnering with affiliates. If you're thinking about having someone affiliate for you, I realize you may like them. You may just be friends with them and acquaintances and say, we're just doing something in reciprocity. I believe you still want to draft up a contract and agreement between the two of you. If no one sees it but you, and you each sign it and document it, that still is worth something. You've got something there that in exchange for this agreement, I will do this, you will do this, here's how payments will go, here's how the breakdown will go. All of the details really should be there. So here I have for you homework in addition to all of the questions. Business partnerships, next steps. What I would recommend for you as homework, take action on this, especially if you already are doing affiliate marketing or you already are co-hosting a podcast or thinking, what a great idea. I wonder if I should choose somebody who has a complementary fitness service and an audience, and the two of us could pair up. Number one, list all of the partnerships that you have right now, or the collaborations, if that's a more comfortable word. Number two, consider the ones that you're thinking about. Have I turned on some ideas for you right now? Number three is make a list of all possible situations, like the responsibilities, the exit strategy, the decision making, the bottom line, who gets to veto power, the distributions and how you will take them. And ask your partner to make a list of their own as well. Then have a meeting, and most likely a series of them. So you probably don't want to expect to have one, hour-long meeting that you're going to hash it all out in. It's probably going to take more than that. Allow it to. It should. It's serious. It's going to go on for a long time. Your business is going to be profitable and big. So take your time, but decide we're going to meet for 1 hour. Afterward, we'll shelf it, say, here's what we got through, here's what we need to revisit, when are we going to have another meeting? Don't let it go on for hours, because actually the longer it goes on, probably the more tired, the more fatigued, the more maybe they're second thinking, and you don't want that. So try to deal with it and always come with a certain frame of mind. And last but not least, have an agreement made up about the partnership and legal rights of each of you, and how decisions, how board meetings, how reporting are handled, what your exit strategy is. If you want to leave and have your partner buy you out, what will that look like? That should be a part of putting together your business partnership or collaboration with anybody. Think about, it sounds negative, I know, but it's proactive. Think about what could go wrong here. Think about the what ifs, and think about what if you are wildly successful. Coming back to what I said in the beginning, as soon as money is involved, And this is not my quote, so I really should give credit where credit is due. If you're listening, you know this is you. But whenever money gets involved, that means you're making a penny or you are starting to lose pennies. People get emotional and people have an opinion and they get pretty strong, and that can ruin relationships. So if you go into a business relationship with someone, most likely there's a level of respect there. You want to maintain that respect and integrity, and then for you, just remember, as soon as money is involved, and you are going to be very prosperous, my friend, people get emotional. So deal with it ahead of time while you're still in the dream stage, but be very realistic about the partnerships. And you'll be so much happier to start doing your research. So there you have it. You can find today's show notes at fitnessmarketingmastery.com/business partnerships. And what I'd love for you to do is you can leave a comment there at the show notes, but even better, share this on social media or reach out to me in a DM on Instagram if you happen to be there. I read those, all of those myself individually, but I do not monitor Facebook private messenger. So that's not a good place to reach me unless we are personal friends. So you know how to reach me, but let me know, are you already collaborating? Are you in a partnership? Do you have something to report? How have you handled this? And has there come an instance where you were in a situation where you wish you would have? You wish you would have had this agreement in place ahead of time because it did get heated. I'd love to hear about it. And what are you waiting for? The world needs us right now more than ever.